We are glad you are all here. We're super excited for the call tonight. Thanks for hopping on. We are going to do a little bit of product training that Chris is going to start here in a minute. Then we are going to do specific training on how to do a basic business overview.
/ class.
Either class. One. And then we'll do a little bit of recognition and then announcements, and then we'll finish up. We'll keep it short and sweet, but there's a lot of really good stuff. So grab your pencils or pens, and thanks for being here.
So a lot of you guys probably know that the cleanse for our team is coming up. So if you want to mark your calendars, the cleanse will start on September 30th. So the reason we wanted to start on September 30th is because it gives people all of September to order their cleanse products. Hopefully they do that before the 15th of the month, so they get their free product of the month with their cleanse products. It's also after convention, so it gives everybody a little bit of time to breathe afterwards. But I'm not going to lie, I feel a little behind the game because we haven't started promoting it already. And so we're going to talk about what we'll do for promotion as a team at the end. But for the next couple weeks, I really want to focus in on why somebody would want to do the cleanse and what benefits they're going to see from it, and then what products are in the cleanse that are going to help support people. So really, ultimately, I just want to empower all of you with like the knowledge, and so you know how to like talk to your people and really connect in with them on stuff they're experiencing so they can join the cleanse and see results through it. So
I think the real reason why it's starting September 30th is just so that it ends right before Halloween.
Oh yeah, that too. Oh yeah.
Just kidding.
Yikes.
That's not why.
Yeah. And one strategic thing about the cleanse is if you've been around a doTERRA for a while, you know that September sometimes is a lower volume month. And October is a huge volume month because everybody wants to buy all the new products. And so we wanted to get the cleanse started before all the new products come, so people aren't having to like feel so split and divided between where they can put their money. The cleanse. Okay, so I want to know, with a show of hands, who knows somebody with allergies? Allergies to anything. I'm talking like food, pollen, pets, all the things. Maybe it's like allergic reaction to bee stings, whatever. So I have done some training on allergies in the past. A lot of you guys know that I functioned as a health coach for many of my like professional years before doTERRA. Or professional years, that sounds very professional. Anyways, I want to share with you some of the detail on the cause behind allergies. Because if you know somebody with allergies, a lot of times they get stuck in this cycle of like treating a symptom, which is, itchy eyes, runny nose, a rash, whatever it is. So 55 million Americans, that's 1 in 4 people, suffer from allergies of some kind, whether it's seasonal, food, skin, or from a medication. And the American Academy of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology states that as many as 30% of adults and 40% of children suffer from allergic responses to something that's in the air each year. So basically, an allergy, when you hear that word, what I want you to think is that an allergy is when your body is overactive and not your body, your immune system is overactive and overstimulated. Your body, or your immune system is overactive or overstimulated. So basically it's your immune system is being stimulated by some sort of an allergen, and then you start to sneeze. So ultimately it is a dysfunction of the immune system. The immune system is responding to something that it should not be responding to. So with that all in mind, you guys all know that your gut plays a huge role in your immune system's function. So like a stat for you to remember is that 75 to 80% of your immune system starts in your gut. So therefore, really with allergies, especially when we're talking like airborne allergies, one of the first things that you can do to help support somebody with allergies is by helping them tame their gut and helping them reset their gut, get rid of the inflammation, get rid of the things that are irritating it. So that is where the cleanse comes in. The cleanse, specifically the portion of the cleanse where we take GX Assist, that's during the middle half, the middle 10 days, phase 2. GX Assist is going to really help target bad bacteria or yeast or anything that could really be irritating the gut and causing it to respond to something that it shouldn't, or causing your immune system to respond negatively to something that shouldn't. So GX Assist, just to like, this was even good for me to read. GX Assist is a capsule that's made out of oregano, melaleuca, lemon, lemongrass, peppermint, and thyme. So there's literally 6 different essential oils in it. And all of those have a variety of antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, all the anti benefits. So they're really going to help target and get rid of those infections. And then it also has caprylic acid. So I actually didn't know this till tonight, but caprylic acid is from coconut oil. So a lot of you guys have probably learned before that like coconut oil has a lot of antibacterial benefits. And so people will tell you to eat coconut oil because it has benefits for your gut health. And that's because of the caprylic acid in it. So doTERRA takes the caprylic acid out of coconut oil and adds it to this soft gel called GX Assist. And then we can take GX Assist to attack things like yeast, maybe it's vaginal yeast infections, candida, thrush, fungal things like even ringworm, all these different things. Like we can target that through the use of GX Assist. So to end this off, I wanted to share one of my favorite testimonies about the cleanse in like practical terminology, or just like this is a real life example of somebody that had really bad allergies and what she saw through the cleanse. So one of my friends from Iowa learned about doTERRA through Brittany Bush. And she, right away when she started doTERRA, she, the next following month, knew that we were going to be starting the cleanse, and she jumped full force into it. And at the time, she was taking 4 allergy/asthma medications that she had been taking for literally 20 years. So crazy, huh? Anyway, she did the cleanse 2 years ago and has since continued on the Lifelong Vitality Pack, Terrazyme, and PB Assist with only very minor allergy flare-ups, which have been easily managed with lemon, lavender, and peppermint in a veggie cap. Her doctor was amazed. Those are her exact words. So anyways.
She's off her medications.
Yeah, she's off all of her medications, which is why her doctor's amazed. Sorry about that. So anyways, that's a really practical example of how the cleanse can help somebody with allergies. And I literally was talking about that with one of my customers today. So hopefully that empowers you guys as you're explaining or thinking about customers on your team, maybe that struggle with that. It gives you not ammo, but like just the knowledge to be able to teach them what's happening in their body and how they can support their bodies.
Thanks, Chris.
And now Tyler's going to teach us all on how to teach a basic business class.
So this is the biggest piece of feedback / the biggest, most asked question that we've gotten so far since starting these weekly calls is how do you share about the business? How do you invite people to learn about the business or earning income with doTERRA? However you want to word it, that's most comfortable to you. And it's different. We use a variety of different vocabulary.
So one thing about this, just to make sure we're all on the same page, we've been sharing about Elise Chedevy's success schedule. And a part of that schedule is every Thursday night teaching an intro to oils class, followed by an intro to the business class. And for Tyler and I, as we have been like implementing these things, one of the things that we're like hitting our heads, like what were we thinking, is basically we're realizing we do a really poor job of inviting people to learn about the business in any way, shape, or form. We've made it like this, like, we don't do a really poor job. I'm being dramatic, but like we could do a better job. And we want to do a better job, A, ourselves, and B, we want to do a better job empowering you guys to share the business too, because that's a really big part of what we do. And Elise Chedevy, again, a double or triple diamond, the highest rank in the company. This is what she does and what she sees success through. And so we want to continue to do the things that work. And she's shown us those things.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I just want to say one more thing. We want to like normalize that like the business is a really amazing thing and it's a gift to be shared just like the oils are.
Yeah, for sure. So a couple, before we get into like the practicals, a couple like mindset things. Kristen already started on this track. But first of all, most homes have more than one stream of income. Like that's not weird, right? And if they don't, usually the household wishes that they did, even if it's a single person. Like it's becoming more and more normal. Like the hashtag like side hustle is like normal. And most homes wish they had another source of income, whether it's 2 or 3 or whatever. Also, we live in a referral economy. And what I mean by that is like, we tell people if we know a good insurance agent, we tell people if we know a good real estate agent, we tell people where to get a good car wash, we tell people what clothes to buy, what movies to go to, what restaurants, coffee shops to go to. And we base our decisions so much on what other people think. Like we buy stuff on Amazon based on how many reviews and how like the star rating. There are people that like are professional Instagrammers that wear clothes and sell them through to their following. That's called affiliate marketing. So like what we do, which is we love a product, we use a product, and we teach other people how to use that product, is completely normal and is like, I heard this in a book the other day, but like our kids, so depending on how old your kids are, but like Elliot's age, 4 years old in a couple weeks, this book cited some study that 60% of that generation, by the time they're in their 20s,
that cutie that Londa's holding.
Yeah. 60% of that generation that are like 5 years old and younger are going to be self-employed in their 20s. So it's just like, that's the trend. Like we are all going to be somewhat self-employed at some point. So our job, part of our job in doTERRA, obviously is product focused. The other part of our job is to invite people into an opportunity to earn income, earn an extra stream of income by doing what we do, educating and selling to people essential oils, natural products, all the things you guys love. So that's like, just to frame it, like it's not like this big scary thing. Like what I'm realizing is it's okay if somebody says, oh, that looks cool, but it's not for me. Okay. Like if we're in a regular routine of offering this to everyone at some point, like membership overview, and then, hey, I offer this to everyone. Would you be interested in just a 15-minute conversation about what it looks like to earn income with doTERRA? If you like it, great. If not, great. I hope you enjoy your products and I will support you with the products. Like that's not super stressful or pressured or anything like that. But I feel like if we normalize it that way, we will be surprised with how many people actually express interest. Obviously, we think it's the greatest thing ever. And
Callie made it super normal for me when she introduced it to me. In fact, she like told me that I was going to rock at it and blah, blah, blah. And honestly, looking back, if she wouldn't have done that, like, I don't know. I think there would have been a place where I would have like started learning about how much I could have earned through doTERRA. And I would have been like, wait, what? Why didn't you tell me about this, Callie?
Yeah. Okay. So some practicals. So what we're talking about is a basic business training. So in the weekly success schedule, if you've found that on the Wellness Leaders Facebook page,
Mm-hmm.
that's from Elise Chedevy, and you can scale it to whatever track you're on in terms of hours per week that you want to spend on this and what your rank goals are. But the sheet is laid out in the weekly schedule. So the way that she has found that this happens best is to do a basic business training, meaning like a 20-minute business training right after a weekly 101 class. Her reasons for this are you already have people in the room. Like, why would you invite them back another time just to hear a brief overview? And it's an additional exposure to what's going on. So they've just heard about how awesome plant medicine is, essential oils, natural products. They've heard about why doTERRA is the best company for those products. It's just like a natural transition. Like, hey, if you're interested, stick around. We're going to do a basic business overview. You can call it whatever you want to call it. We're going to be sharing just a few minutes about how to earn income with doTERRA. And if you want to stick around, it'll take 20 minutes.
So one little practical I wanted to share about this is, like, it sounds really good when Tyler says it like that. But the first week when I was doing my intro class and I was like ready to do the intro to the biz class, I was like, I totally chickened out. And I was like, I'm not going to tell him there's a business class coming up. And I like paid attention to that feeling. And I was like, well, why did I do that? And then I realized that I was feeling like sneaky because I didn't invite or tell people that it was happening ahead of time. And I had no one that was planning on coming to that intro to the biz class. So when I would say, we're going to do, I'm like, who, me and myself. So anyways, all that to say, like, if you have that feeling like me, basically how I changed my verbiage was when I'm inviting people to my weekly intro class now, they say, yes, I'm coming. I say, awesome. Just so you know, I'm doing a 20-minute training afterwards. That's an intro to the business. If you're interested in that, you're welcome to stay for that as well. And then that way I felt like I had already given them the heads up. So it wasn't like this thing where I felt like I invited them to an intro class and then all of a sudden I'm like throwing this at them, if that makes sense. That's just me personally. And that's an example of how I worked through that feeling myself personally. So,
yeah. And again, this is you're presenting an option to them. It's not like you're trying to trick them into anything.
Yeah.
That's obviously not how we do this. In this training, it's really simple. This is like a 20-minute overview. Can you pull up the build guide?
Yeah.
I personally love doTERRA's build guide. Kristen's pulling it up here. Is going to share the screen. Click on that. There. So you can either search doTERRA build guide and this will pop up as a PDF, or you can go to doTERRA.com. And then I think they've moved it a few times. It's like under resources and then empowered success. And there's all the guides there. And that is where you find this guide. It looks like this.
You can print it, or you can also purchase these from doTERRA.
Yep. You can download this for free, or you can purchase them in like packs of 10 for not very much money and actually hand these out. I love this because it does a great job of just like reframing what residual income is and just gives a brief overview of what the doTERRA business opportunity is. So Elise recommends you do 3 things during these brief business trainings. The first one is explaining residual income. And that's right here in front of us, this the story of the pipeline, the parable of the pipeline. If you guys haven't read this, take a minute to read it sometime. And it's like super powerful because most people are over here in the hauling buckets category. That's where I was. That's where Kristen was. I'm sure that's where most of you are or were, but you are also working on building a pipeline. And it's a different mentality. And it's like the whole idea of residual income is super powerful. Like doTERRA's retention rate is insane. I could talk for a long time about doTERRA's retention rate. Company-wide, it's like 65%, but our team, the last several times I checked, is around 71%, meaning 71% of our customers are buying something at least every 3 months, which is unheard of and super awesome, and a big reason why LRP is so amazing. But that's the first thing that we cover in this basic business training is residual income, what it is, and just contrasting it to earned income, which is like clocking in, clocking out, and whatever rate you're getting paid, that's your income. The second thing you cover is a simplified compensation plan. And this is not the time to get like super detailed, super complex. If you have somebody in this business overview that wants to ask a lot of questions, it's just like, I would just say, like, I would love to dive deep into that. Right now, we're just doing a brief overview. But I would love to sit down and talk through all of your questions sometime. Like if you have somebody that's like asking lots of questions. But for me, what this looks like is a brief compensation explanation is like right here on this page. It's discover the possibilities. These are the ranks. These are the average incomes. And there's a lot of numbers on here, a lot of details. doTERRA's compensation plan is amazing. And these are all the different ways we get paid. And this at these different ranks, depending on, like, you correlate the color to the type of income, and that's what makes up your paycheck. Like that simple. And then especially if people can have this, they can dig into more details, because you could get lost on these couple pages all for a long time. And then the third thing that is super important to cover in these basic business trainings is just like helping people see what this could do for them in their lives. So a really great way to do this is to share a couple business success stories. We share ours. I was an accountant. She was a health coach. We were both working hourly salary jobs. We loved our work, but it tied up a lot of our time. We were putting our one child at the time in daycare, and we always had to like plan out our PTO, and we never had as much as we wanted, and like all those things.
And before we had our own story, we shared Callie's story, in
Yes.
case you wondered. There's a little peeper in the window back there that's not sleeping. Anyways, is that the main last thing you were going to say?
Yeah, I mean, I could share more, but
yeah, the biggest thing is sharing testimonials, and I am working on collecting hopefully a few other testimonies from Silver Pluses on our team that you guys are welcome to share in the future. But for now, I would encourage you, if you want to, just share ours. Like, pull up a picture of us on Facebook and talk about what we do. And I think that's a great place to start. And then, like, the reality is just to keep it really simple. And if you're doing a one-on-one, it's really important to ask questions and know what they want in a doTERRA business.
Yeah, help them see how their life can be changed by the business potential of doTERRA.
Yeah.
Which the build guide helps them walk right through it.
So I'm going to come back to questions at the end. Thank you guys for commenting those in there as we go. But hopefully that gives you a good idea for how an intro to the biz class or an intro to the business, like just a one-on-one meetup, can go. It's really simple. And then one other thing that I wanted to just clarify is, you guys know we have the Living Drop Collective Wellness Leaders page. I want to just remind everybody that when you have somebody that is interested in the business, do not add them to that page. If they're interested in the business, you do your best to support them, field their questions, all that kind of stuff until they tell you that they want to build a business with doTERRA. If you have done a business overview with them or a class and they tell you they want to build, then you say, awesome, we have a Wellness Leaders page with some units where you can come in and you can go through the first 10 to learn more, and then you can jump into our weekly calls as a team. And that's when you add them to that group. Otherwise, I have some questions set that they get asked. And if somebody has not received a business overview, they tell me that in the questions, and then I don't add them to the group. So I just wanted to update everybody because I know not everybody knows that. So next we're going to transition to the recognition time. And for this time, first of all, dun-ta-da, Rachel Taylor is newly engaged. Yay!
Show us the ring.
Where's the bling? Woo! Okay. So next, I know there's some of you, I think there's some of you guys that have been doing the weekly success schedule, but I want to hear from you if you're doing it. For sure, tell me so I can celebrate and process with you and support you. But Rachel Taylor happens to be one that I know she's doing the weekly success schedule from Elise Chedevy, and she just started it shortly after we did. And I just wanted her to share a few of her honest thoughts on it because I know she's at a place where a lot of you guys are. And it's just helpful to hear other voices besides ours. So I wanted her to share just a little bit of the practicals of what she's seen since she started it. I think, do you want to unmute yourself, Rachel? Oh yeah, there you go.
Is it there?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I started doing the schedule probably about 2 weeks ago. And the thing that Chris and I had to talk about too is I've done the thing where I won't start it unless I know it's going to be thought out perfectly and all this other stuff. So essentially I would say that it's not been perfect. I haven't done the business overview stuff that we've talked about, but I have seen a lot of cool things with my customers. I enrolled one person at the end of July and then one at the beginning of August, and both of them have just talked about how incredible they love, how happy they are. They have these things. One, she told me last Saturday when I had a continuing education class, she was like, I already have my LRP set for September, and I wish I could just order it now. And I'm like, I just haven't had that before. I haven't had, and then they've told me while we're there, different success stories that they've had with their oils, helping them with headaches or allergies or something that skin wise pops up or just different stuff like that. And then this past week, the first week, I only had one person at my continuing education after I invited so many people. And then this last weekend, I had 4. So again, I think it's the consistency, things are just going to build. I didn't have anybody besides my one friend who came to my first 101 class. But now I think I have 2 or 3 coming tomorrow. So I think, again, it's just going to be a consistency thing that builds. But especially 2 other people that came on Saturday were both like, oh, I haven't set up my LRP and I really do need to order. So I probably should set that up. They just, once they hear it over and over again, I feel like I'm seeing how it actually does make a difference in the residual income. And I think it's made such a big difference in my mindset too, because one, I can hear from my customers and actually know how they're doing and how I'm actually helping them. So then you don't feel like this, I don't know, someone who's just bothering people sometimes. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but I do sometimes. And so I think it's helped a lot with mindset, even though I haven't implemented everything yet. A lot of the connecting and following up and inviting and the weekly classes has made already a big difference. And this is only in week 2 or something like that. So yeah, so that's all I have.
Awesome. So good.
Thanks, Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you kind of mentioned this, but I've seen the confidence in you, that you're doing the things and also seeing and hearing the feedback. So it just makes you so much more confident and excited and inspired about your business. like I've seen that in you and I felt that in myself. So anyways, that's great. So
Totally.
before we close out, I just wanted to share a few reminders and then updates. So number one, if you're not coming to convention, make sure you get your live stream ticket so you can watch it and get all the goodness of convention. Number two, if you are coming to convention, I posted, we have a special convention group just for the LDC. So if you're coming to convention and you're not in that group, tell me. But I just posted an event for our own like team hangout on Thursday night, right before Marie Cottom's event. And during that time, basically Callie, myself and Melissa, we all want to spoil our team. So we're collaborating together for a fun team party and it'll be really good. And then the next update that I wanted to share is I mentioned the cleanse will be starting on September 30th. And so a few things that I'm planning to do in promotion of that event. Number one, I'm hoping to do a series of live videos, 5, 1 a day, on what we're talking about here, like why you would want to do that cleanse if you have allergies, why you would want to do the cleanse if you have hormone imbalances, and basically 5 reasons why people should consider the cleanse. So if you're somebody that loves to do live videos, Emily Paulson, you should message me and I want you to do a video. I'll do one and Melissa's going to do one. And anyways, so look forward to those on the LDC. You'll be able to share those with your team.
We don't have to limit it to 5.
Yeah, we don't have to limit it to 5 either. But
5 days. You can have more than 1 per day.
Yeah. So anyways, this will be a fun way to engage as many of the LDC as possible. Like, so I feel like this is like the broad sowing of the seed to the whole team, right? And then we are also going to be launching Oil Camp 201. Yay! Finally! However many years later. Anyways, so a lot of you guys have experienced Oil Camp 1 and how great it was. And so we have Oil Camp 201, like it's like this close to being done. And so basically what I'm planning to do, a big part of Oil Camp is making sure that you keep your groups pretty intimate, so it's not overwhelming to people in their notifications. If there's like 100 people in an oil camp, it's not the greatest. And people will drop off really quick is what I think. And so anyways, I am going to be talking with all my Silver Pluses, and hopefully they will all each get to run one if that's something that they want to for their team, because all the content is put together. So then all the Silver Pluses can run their own Oil Camp too. So depending on who your enroller is or who your upline Silver Plus is, reach out and connect with them if you're wanting to be able to invite people through Facebook to those events. The prizes are a little bit different than Oil Camp 1, and we'll be talking about that in the near future. So those, honestly, to get as much in as possible before LRPs start running, almost need to start like sometime the end of this week. So this is, again, where I feel a little behind, but I know it will still be a really good thing for our team, even if like each of us on this call have 4 to 5 people that attend that oil camp. It could be really, really big for your team and for the learning that they're going to get from it. And
more details on that.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yes, very soon. Watch the Wellness Leaders page and we'll be putting updates out there. So yeah, I think that's everything. Make sure you mark your calendars for September 30th for the start of the cleanse. And then I'm going to stop the recording now so we can do some live questions. But if you need to leave, go ahead.